Hi, I'm RW Girl, and I'd like to welcome you to RW Speaks, an ongoing series which offers information, insight, and inspiration in addition to what is found at the Successful in Finding Love.co website. This video is going to deal with the topic of the list. I'm going to tell you right now that I am not a fan of the list, and everything I'm going to say in this video is based on me being a realist. I could have been an optimist and given you a pep talk that would have inspired you, but would not have helped you. Since I want you to be successful, you need to have that information and that insight. In rolling the dice, a different approach to finding a fulfilling relationship, I dedicate a chapter to the list. The list in itself is not a bad thing. It is what it ultimately turns into that is scary. If I had to give you a comparison, it would be like placing a custom order for a new car. There is a list of upgrades, optional packages, and equipment that can be added for a price. And there definitely is a price to pay if you apply this method to the list. So, a lot of people will go and write a list of what they are looking for in the perfect relationship partner. On the good news side, a list will help you to achieve focus, and it is a means of determining if someone is a potential relationship candidate. On the bad news side, a list can be so detailed that it effectively eliminates otherwise good relationship candidates. And it doesn't take as much as you think to create that bad news outcome, as you are about to find out. Like a lot of people, I have a list. Once people make the list, they feel that the perfect person will quickly come into their life. It's as easy as snapping your fingers. Interesting. Among my friends, they are well aware that I find height a desirable physical trait in women. Nice to know. I better make this relevant to the women watching. Let's suppose that a person has 3 physical traits that they absolutely want in a potential relationship candidate. The 3 traits are tall, green eyes, and natural red hair. I can fix that. You have to agree with me. That's a short list. Only 3 items. The number of men and women who have all 3 of those traits has got to be huge, right? Let us start with a big number, and here it is, 7.3 billion. That's the current estimated world population. Did you know that more or less the makeup of the world population is about 50-50? So there are about 3.65 billion females and 3.65 billion males. Now, about 70% of the world population is 18 years of age or older. So there are about 2.5 billion adult females and 2.5 billion adult males. It's also interesting to note that about 1/3 of the population is legally available to marry at any given time, which means there are about 894 million females and 894 million males. You have to agree with me. 894 million is still a big number. If you are a woman looking for a male relationship candidate, there is definitely a lot of men to choose from. But here's another number. If you're a woman watching this video, did you know that only 5% of men are tall? Here's another number. Did you know that only 2% of people have green eyes? Finally, the last number is this. Did you know that only 2% of people have natural red hair? So let's summarize this. If you're a woman on a global search for a man who is of legal age and legally available to marry, there are about 894 million of them on the planet. But you want one who is tall, has green eyes, and natural red hair. There are only about 17,900 men. That is only 0.002%, or put another way, for every 1,000 men, only 2 of them are going to have all 3 of those physical traits. If you're a guy watching this video, the numbers, and I'm sorry to tell you this, are actually worse. Start with this number. Did you know that only 3% of women are tall? Here's another number. Those who have green eyes. Finally, the last number is this. Have natural red hair. So, you're a man on a global search for a woman who is of legal age and legally available to marry. There are about 894 million of them. But you want one who is tall, has green eyes, and natural red hair. There are only about 10,700 women, that is 0.0012%. Or put another way, for every 1,000 women, only one of them is going to have all three physical traits. Now, I strongly suspect that the overwhelming majority of people looking for a relationship partner are not willing to pack up and move anywhere on the face of the planet. Let's now look at a more realistic scenario. What would the numbers look like if you lived in a city of 1 million people? For the women, there would be about 122,500 adult males legally available to marry. 6,100 of them would be tall, with 102 having green eyes and 2 with natural red hair. For the men, there would be about 122,500 adult females legally available to marry. 3,675 would be tall, 73 would have green eyes, and 1 with natural red hair. What I just presented to you comes from rolling the dice, which originally comes from a post I made on my Facebook page. You have to agree with me that with only a few prerequisites, or you could say absolute musts, it is so easy to take really big numbers and turn them into 4, 3, 2, or single-digit ones. What happens when you start adding to the list? In the original examples I didn't include things such as specific age range, education level, occupation, interests, hobbies, diet, body type, religious beliefs, marital history, income, or put another way, everything including the kitchen sink. Now, unless you are an eternal optimist, ignoring proven facts, statistics, and mathematical probabilities, saying that they don't apply to you isn't going to help you. For everyone else who is looking right now, you are probably saying to yourself, what have I been doing? I always thought the percentage of tall women had to be about 12 to 15%. When I found out it was really only 3%, truthfully, I was at a loss for words. I did some thinking, some soul searching. With a single physical trait demand, I had effectively eliminated a very large portion of the available women as a potential relationship candidate. And I live in a city of a population of 700,000. Now, you understand why I am definitely not a fan of the list. Anyone who has made the list either physically wrote one or mentally has one in their head hasn't been setting themselves up for success. The reality is they have done something to almost ensure failure. The good news is that I am a big supporter of the A list, and you'll be able to learn more about that when Rolling the Dice gets released. I'm RW Girl, and remember, I want to help you to be successful in finding love.